Well, hello, Quarantine Nation, fellow quarantiners, fellow self-isolationists. Welcome to another episode of Zoobox Goes to the Movies, or more succinctly, more correctly these days, Zoobox stays home and watches movies that were in the movie theater recently. Got that video on demand.
I prefer it, honestly. Just gotta say.
Well, that's because if you could choose, you would just stay where you are at all times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the only way to be safe. The only way to, in just general everyday life. I mean, you've got a fort of a situation going on. You know?
I do.
You got valuable supplements, valuable artwork hanging. I mean, you can't just leave those things. They could be stolen.
Yeah, that's true.
You're a man. This is the castle doctrine, okay? You have a right to protect your home.
I mean, there is some truth there, and it's also, the gas station is only a quarter mile away. It's convenient, And now, I guess, like, the Walmart is starting up this if you're over 60, or you have possible, like, being exposed to, like, possible problems, whatever. Like, they'll deliver food, and I'm just going to call up, like, listen, Sam's Club.
I got radiculopathy.
I'm a disabled veteran. I can't have this happen.
Yeah, I think any people with underlying health conditions, right? So it's like diabetes, people that are overweight. So it's a pretty broad spectrum. Most people in America will be able to probably utilize these services.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is on top of the ones that already kind of offer those things. So you could stay home, you could rent yourself some VOD movies, and you could just get your groceries delivered. This is the America that we've all been waiting for, okay?
Yeah.
The Wall-E world, or what will bring about the Wall-E world. We've been waiting for this for a long time.
Well, I guess it's here, so
that's
buckle
right.
Up and enjoy the ride.
We got Amazon, shop, consume. We're good. I see people panic buying, like, soda.
Yeah, I saw a video of people panic buying some Mountain Dew.
Like, I see carts.
Yeah.
Full of soft drinks. Like the soft drink aisle at my local Kroger was like pretty decimated that first week when everybody's buying toilet paper and all that shit. The soda aisle was pretty decimated. Pretty well fucked. I don't drink
know.
Soda, so
yeah, I don't drink it either. So
yeah, I'm a classy guy. I drink Jim Beam.
Okay. There you go.
Real classy. Real classy. Okay, let's get this fucker started. I don't know why you're wasting everybody's time like this. This is disrespectful to the audience.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about two of these VOD theater movies that have come out recently. The first one we're going to talk about is The Way Back, which is the recently released kind of critical, did okay critically, kind of bombed in the theater though, starring Ben Affleck, directed by Gavin O'Connor. Gavin O'Connor directed a couple other movies. You've probably seen the movie Warrior with Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton about the MMA fighters.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah, you can feel that. You feel that vibe. He also did another movie with Ben Affleck called The Accountant, which I think is an underrated action movie.
That's okay.
It's a weird movie. Like, it's not like a normal, what you think it would be.
It's about a guy who has highly functioning autism that kills people. So, sick.
Yeah, but it has, I'm saying, like, the way it's structured, because it's like a comedic elements, and it's got like thriller elements, and then straightforward action elements, and it's got like a mystery to it.
It didn't bother me when I watched it, so it was fine.
I thought it was probably more interesting than good, but I enjoyed it. And then I think that's about it that of note that he's done. He did this movie called Pride and Glory, which I've never seen, with Edward Norton and Colin Farrell. I think it's like a two brothers, one's a cop, one's a criminal type movie. Mm-hmm. I think. I could be wrong. And then right after that, we're going to talk about Leigh Whannell's recently released critical success, box office success, The Invisible Man. But let's start it off with this The Way Back talk. So what were your general impressions, Dan? What did you think? How did you feel walking away from The Way Back?
Trying to be Hoosers without being Hoosers,
How dare you?
I mean, seriously, this movie was fucking garbage. Seriously, I mean, I'm being honest that I really didn't care for it at all. Like, there was nothing there. I'm like the typical alcoholic coach, the typical like guys. Like, it's such a typical backstory to some sort of. I feel like I could have watched. What's that Keanu Reeves one? Yeah.
No, that's being now.
No, it's literally the same fucking story.
It's
almost.
It's
almost
not.
the same. So he doesn't have a drinking problem. He has a gambling problem. That's the only difference.
Sure, yeah. There's definitely a lot of archetypal things that you find in these
Ah,
movies. These kind of movies,
garbage.
all these sport dramas, they kind of have a similar structure.
Ben Affleck's okay in it. I like the guy who plays the assistant coach. He's okay. All the kids
Fred
could go.
Madrigal.
All those kids could go fucking die. They're terrible. Wouldn't even feel bad. I hope they all catch COVID-19.
I totally disagree. I did not think it was like the greatest movie I'd ever seen or anything, but I thought that because it has the trappings of a sports movie, but it's not really about that. It's really just
Yeah,
about
it's fucking
just
lame.
a character study and about somebody who's gone through.
They don't even go to the ship. They don't even go to the ship.
I don't know what that means, but anyways,
Championship, Shaun. The championship.
oh,
They don't
well,
even go to the ship.
don't know if they do or if they don't. That's the whole because it doesn't matter.
But he changed their lives. Now they're good quality young men.
No, I thought it had a good like in terms of like being one of these kind of fairly like just straightforward movies. Like I had a good message. I thought Ben Affleck was pretty good in it. I really enjoyed his performance, and he is kind of what the draw of the movie is. And
It's not hard, but is it hard to be an emotionalist? Just piece of shit, living in your house,
yeah, but he's not. That's
taking
not,
really erotic showers.
well, Ben Affleck. Every movie I noticed because I started watching Batman v Superman the other day, and he takes an erotic shower. In the movie Gone Girl, he hangs dong in another erotic shower scene. Are you saying like any movie that has like an over the head shower
Yeah,
going down somebody's back is erotic for you?
it's a little erotic. I mean, for me. I mean, and then he has no soap, which means he's dirty. Now he's got to go out in public, but he's not
Even
buying
more,
soap.
even
He's
more
buying
erotic.
alcohol. This guy's got problems. Dumb.
Yeah, but you didn't
Fucking
think you
dumb.
didn't think that like the reveal or anything about like what had led him down this path. Because
About
it's
his son
twofold.
dying? About his son dying?
Oh, I thought we weren't going to spoil anything, but okay. Uh, yeah, that was like that's a traumatic thing for a
Typical.
person.
Typical.
Typical.
Nothing there that's like, and his wife is a fucking hoe. Out there fucking other dudes. They're having lunch. The nerve.
They have been
The
separated
fuck.
for 2 years.
It's
Dan's
still,
leaving a lot out.
Nah. But like, why are you having lunch and shit? Fuck that. It's weird.
Well, because they're trying to like make a connection. They have like this thing between them that was never resolved. There's no closure in their life. And then the further extension of it being some sort of genetic disorder that her sister's son also has afflicted with, and also I believe, well, it's left. I believe he passes away during the movie.
No, so forgettable, so terrible.
But
I
anyway,
mean, I would give it like a 3.
yeah, I disagree. I'd give it like a solid 7. I think it's a well-made movie. I think it's a good character study for what it is. I guess if you have like a heart of glass or a heart of ice like Daniel, you will find nothing here for you.
It's not original. I'm sorry. It's not
Well,
original.
not like I said, we've had this discussion before. This is like the Richard Jewell discussion. It does not have to be.
It wasn't even
original.
well done.
There's plenty
That's
there's plenty of things that you like that aren't original.
No. It's not about that. It's like, it's not well done. There's nothing good about it.
You're gonna have to be specific.
Whatever. There's no real sports moment that I'm like, you know what, dude? They're coming back,
Yes,
but I want to
because
see the go to the
that's
ship.
not
Everything
the
else
point.
doesn't matter.
But that's not the
Okay.
point of the movie. And if that's what you were taking
I-
away from
hey,
it, like it's such
Hey,
a small part.
I never said that was the point of the movie.
I understand.
I'm just
that.
saying what I would have preferred. Okay, I'm just saying what I would have made it better.
Yeah,
I don't
okay,
care.
that's
I
fine.
don't care about their point. Their point is what? That he's a sappy fucking drunk. He lost a kid. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, but they use the kids to parallel like parts of his life and what led him down to where he was. Like it's not.
Yeah, it's called fucking that movie with Keanu Reeves, and he's
No,
a
it's
fucking
not.
Basically the same fucking movie.
It's not
Yeah.
at all. That's more
He
like
gets-
that's a Bad News Bears ripoff. This is not that at all. It's not. It's just not the same thing. That's apples and oranges.
Fucking doing dumb shit, dude. They're just doing dumb shit. Then he gets hammered, and then all the things happen, and you're like, you know what? I don't even feel bad for you. I don't feel bad.
You sound like Ben Affleck in the middle of this movie right now. Like,
Yeah.
ah,
I don't. He's just a piece of
No,
shit.
but
He deserves the pain that he gets, and I don't feel bad for him. Fuck him.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck him.
It's your perspective. I disagree with that. I thought it was you know, it's even with some of the things that happen, some of the themes that totally resonated with me. And I don't know. I'm not saying it's the best movie in the world. There is a lot
You're
of,
giving it a 7.
yeah, there is a lot of weaknesses in the movie. I think when Dan was pointing out like about the sports team, I think some of those kids are not developed enough. So I understood what they were getting at, like in trying to find some parallels, trying to find some things like that. And I don't think anybody is really developed enough for me to feel like an attachment to any of the other characters. And I do think that actually works against the movie. I like it could have been 20 minutes longer, in my opinion, just to flesh some of that stuff out and give it some sort of, I don't know, just to enrich the themes. But I don't know, that's my opinion. I would give it like a 7 out of 10, 7.5 maybe. If I was on a generous day, Dan gives it a 3.
Yeah, like seriously. Like I don't know how you could, maybe a 5 if something, but that's.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you, what were you doing while you watched it?
Watching it. I watched it. Laid down and watched it.
I'm gonna give you the Larry David.
No, I did. I watched it. When I watch movies, I watch movies. Sometimes
Well,
I'll pick up my phone and check my phone for something, but that's about it, you know?
playing Tetris, boy.
And, no,
You playing Tetris, you mustachioed son of a bitch.
no, I swear. I wasn't playing Tetris. The movie's just not good. I'm sorry. It's just not.
Well, I can understand. Well, I disagree. I don't like.
There's nothing that
what-
is like, wow, this
what-
movie's
why
really
does
driving some shit.
Well,
I just don't have to like, dude. I don't like it. That's it.
Well, I understand. Yeah, I get that. It would be nice if you like qualified some of the things with specific things. Like
What do
you
you
just
want
think,
me to
well,
qualify with it? It's not an original story. The way it's being upheld by, because he's like drunk, like what does he do for work? I don't know. You know, like what's this guy about? I don't really know enough about him, and that's supposed to be the mystery. But the fucking mystery is fucking stupid. That his life fell apart because his son died. A movie that
Yeah,
did this
no,
way
that's-
better. A
well,
movie that did this way better was a movie like the one with fucking Casey Affleck, which is Manchester by the Sea, whatever.
sure.
Which is that's tragic. Like that movie did it really well, and this movie did not.
I would say,
me.
yeah, Manchester by the Sea is definitely a better movie than The Way Back is.
But like you're giving this a 7, which Manchester by the Sea is like an 8.
By the Sea a 10 for me. But
like I would say 8.59.
well, I don't.
Like, hey,
I mean, they're not trying to accomplish the same goals necessarily. I mean, I think. Well, I mean, maybe broadly they are, but
about how to deal with trauma. That's
sure.
what it's about. How you deal with trauma, how you bounce back. The Way Back is the name of the fucking movie. And this
Okay.
movie is about a dude who fucking, in the beginning, you don't know why he's a piece of shit, but he is a piece of shit. And then now all of a sudden, 90 or probably an hour into the movie or 45, however, whenever it happens, you feel like you should have sympathy for this guy. It's going like, no, you're kind of a scumbag. Like, I really don't care.
I mean, you think he's a scumbag because he lived like a life for a couple years that was like kind of off. He kind of fell up.
Yeah.
He fell away for a couple years.
Yeah.
That makes him
No
a
way
scumbag.
back, baby. There's no way back.
You've made your decisions. You live
No,
that's
it's,
you
it's
forever
just
now.
not that interesting of a story. It's typical. It's so clunky. The story is not smooth. It's so predictable, and it's not relatable. I guess for me, care. And then all of a sudden, the priest fires him because he was a little fucking drunk. Get over it, old man.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because he's like with kids. You know,
Oh, he's with kids. He showed up, smelled like a little bit of fucking whiskey, dude. He's fine. He's
fine. He drove there, didn't he?
But that's the straw that broke the camel's. That's it. We have a no drinking policy. Fucking lame.
No, that wasn't.
That's fucking lame. The redemption would have been like if he could have got back on the team.
It's implied that he does at the end when he's walking out of the gym with the basketball.
That's implied. That's not told. That doesn't make any. No, that's not true because he's just shooting a basketball at the end. That's all he fucking does.
Where does he get the basketball from? A locker, and he walks down a hallway, and he walks out back to a basketball hoop.
In like California, dude. That was not.
Oh, I don't know.
New York. Yeah, that was not New
Yeah,
York. That
I
was
don't-
California.
Well, I don't know where you would suddenly think he magically transported somewhere else for no
That's
reason.
what I'm saying. No, he definitely was not in New York at the end. I did not know there was palm trees, motherfucker. Palm trees and shit. What were you doing when you were watching the movie?
Watching my
Okay.
son.
Okay.
I don't remember the palm trees. You could be right.
There is like this scene. Just type in the fucking image from the end of the movie, The Way Back, basketball
The way
scene.
palm trees, the way back.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. We can just move on. So yeah, that's our thoughts on The Way Back. I recommend it. Daniel does not. I think if you're just into, if you like the movie Warrior, I would say check it out. I think Warrior is okay. I think The Way Back. I might like The Way Back a little bit more than I liked Warrior.
Also, a predictable movie that is not really original in any sense of the word.
Sure, and
But
I don't
it
require
gets.
that to like a movie.
I
But,
do. I do.
okay, well,
It has to be.
that's must be very hard for you.
It is.
So yeah, so that's The Way Back. And then the next movie we're going to talk about is the new Lee Winnell movie. We actually reviewed his previous movie just a few weeks ago, so you can go back and check it out. The movie Upgrade. It's a really great kind of throwback action sci-fi thriller. And I think we both enjoyed that. You liked that movie, didn't you, Dan?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was okay. I mean, I would
Dan's
give it like a 7. I'd give it like a 7. I would give you like a 7.5.
I've seen Super
7.
Soldiers. I've seen artificial intelligence. I don't need this. This is
Yeah.
I'm just teasing.
No, it's I don't know. It just wasn't that good, dude. It just wasn't.
What isn't that good?
It was 7. Like it was an average movie. Average, maybe a little above. I would definitely say it's a little above. Like so, I'm gonna give it like a 7.5.
So now we're gonna be talking about his latest movie, the horror mystery sci-fi film, The Invisible Man. So, if anybody doesn't know, a few years ago they tried to do like this universal dark universe, dark monsters, and The Mummy with Tom Cruise was the first one that came out of that, and then that bombed. They spent tons of money and it bombed. So Universal basically gave the licenses to the rest of their, or at least some of their monster movies to Blumhouse to make like low budget modern interpretations, not connected to the Tom Cruise movie. That's the only one. I mean, they went so far as they announced the entire cast for like the Invisible Man. It was supposed to be Johnny Depp. Javier Bardem was going to be Frankenstein, I believe, or he was going to be the monster in Frankenstein. What is it? Benicio del Toro. Might have been Benicio. He was one of them too. Which Benicio del Toro did a Wolfman movie back in the mid 2000s. Like they did like a remake of the old Wolfman movie,
which was garbage.
So this would be, I guess, the newest incarnation, the newest attempt at doing something with these Universal monster properties. So they scaled it all back, and they're kind of going into a completely different direction, doing kind of a modern take on it, not really even referencing the Invisible Man very much. I actually watched the original Invisible Man like the night before I went to see this, because I saw this in the theater when it first came out, and I watched Hollow Man, which I don't know if you've ever seen Hollow Man. Haven't you ever seen Hollow Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
That's actually like a pretty close adaptation. I didn't even realize that because I had never seen the original The Invisible Man, and it's a really kind of in broad themes and like beats, like it's very similar to the original Invisible Man. The original Invisible Man, the Invisible Man's a bad guy, and like you see things kind of through his perspective, the antagonist perspective. He's like the mad scientist. He monologues. He talks about all the intoxicated by the power and fucking with people, and like it's so kind of funny, like because it's the old movies from like 1933. Like his one of the most like his heinous acts is like grabbing somebody's bike and throwing it at them, and he's like ah, and then you see like little footsteps in the snow. It's pretty awesome. But so, without further ado, what did you think of Lee Winnell's The Invisible Man?
Oh, that's what I thought we were talking about already. That's why I said I give this movie like a 7.5.
Oh, I thought you were talking. No, we talked. I asked you about Upgrade.
Oh, Upgrade. Yeah, 7.5. Like that's
okay. So what did you think of The Invisible Man?
7.5. Like it's fine. I like the take that they did on it. I do like it with the perspective that they came at it with. I don't know. It's fine. Yeah, it's enjoyable.
I really liked it. I think there's some contrived stuff in there, and there's some things where you're like, nah. Like when you really start thinking about some of the things that happen in the third act, especially.
Yeah, the third act is terrible. Does not wrap up well. In my opinion.
I would disagree with that, and I guess we can get into that a little bit. I really enjoyed it. I'd probably give it like an 8, or probably an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. I thought Elizabeth Moss was pretty good for the most part. I mean, she served her thing well. I really liked having watched the original Invisible Man and then watching kind of Hollow Man to see a different modern interpretation of it. I actually really liked what they did with this because it completely inverts the perspective of who you're seeing this movie's eyes through. Because in the original one, it's more like you're seeing it through the antagonist's kind of point of view, and in this one, it's completely in the protagonist's point of view, and it's completely through her eyes, and I don't know. But yeah, I thought he's Lee Winnell's just a really good craftsman. Like he really knows how to take his time with a shot and like kind of build tension. I mean, even like that beginning scene when she's trying to escape her husband's house or whatever. Like just the way it's shot is just really I don't know, like it actually makes you feel made me feel a little tense, at least when I saw it anyways.
No, agreed. Absolutely. I mean, it was I think I liked how they went with I had something in my head. I can't remember. But I don't know. The movie was definitely had some original elements. I think the action scenes were the best as far as how they handled the interaction between the Invisible Man and the other characters in the film. I think that was really done really well. That was probably my favorite parts of the movie. Everything else you could throw away, honestly, for me. And like, there's nothing that like abused woman. Oh, like no. Oh, she's controlled. Like nah. To me, it's like get the fuck out of here, dude. No, I'm good.
Okay.
Garbage.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought the themes were pretty good in terms of it being like a quote unquote like Me Too movie. I thought it was like I understood its perspective. I understood where it was coming from.
Was she being raped, or was she just being controlled? Like
in a psychologically abusive relationship. And
that's not a Me Too, bro. That's not a Me Too.
There's also implications that it's she was physically abused as well.
Yeah, well, I know they're talking about getting pregnant and shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I remember as far as what you would say. Like the sexual abuse.
I don't think that would be Me Too doesn't just cover that. But when you say it's like a Me Too movie, it's like more of just like the spirit of believing victims, and when women come forward, you should listen to them and give them the space to be heard.
Oh, so that kind of makes more sense.
There's an interesting. I want to tell you about the ending. I want to talk to you about the ending because I didn't have the same reaction that like my wife had a different reaction than I did, and I was listening to a podcast and they had brought this thing up, and I was like, oh, I did not read it the same way. But yeah, so we're gonna probably talk a little bit of spoilers. We want to talk about the ending of the movie. I really enjoyed it. Like if you're into like just mystery thrillers, I think it's worth checking out. I think it's got some really great scares in it. It has one of the more effective jump scares I've seen in a movie in a minute, and it utilizes the Invisible Man like kind of thing pretty well. I'm talking about when she's in the attic.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that it was pretty effective. I thought it was pretty good, and it's got like the Invisible Man thing. There's a kind of just some cool elements to like what's going on. But yeah, so what did you think of the ending when the big twist?
The twist says we're talking about when she goes back to the house, right? Where she?
Well, do you buy the twist that it was his brother and not him?
Well, I mean, how would there not be the twist?
Hmm?
Oh, you say? Oh.
So the twist of the movie.
I know what you're saying. The brother, the little brother,
lawyer,
or whatever.
The lawyer, yeah.
Yeah, the guy that I don't fucking know. I don't really care. I guess like I was kind of like, well, they're both bad guys. Like if you're bad, you're bad.
Do you believe that it was him, or did you think like he's being manipulative again?
No, I think he was. I think it was what I thought was the brother was sent there to the house to go fucking do it while he got away or whatever for a little bit. But then again, he wasn't injured. He didn't have any stab marks or anything that you would see. She really didn't like look into it. She just had a fucking feeling if she murders the guy, which is where I was a little like, it's kind of fucking weird. It's kind of weird. Because she stabbed him with the pen.
Well, some people seem to think that. That's a good point. Yeah, I guess but I don't know if maybe the suit stopped that or whatever. I don't know. Like, I have no idea. Like, I don't
I
think
mean, it
the
looked like
logic
he
of the
injured him.
the logic of the movie is like a little spotty in that kind of aspect because I don't think you see like a pen wound on the brother when it's revealed that it's him underneath the thing. It would be right there in his neck, wouldn't it? She stabbed him in the neck or
She stabbed
something.
him up by
Did
the
she?
shoulder,
Or in the shoulders, in the
or
chest.
something. Something. I mean, she should have. She stabbed him like 5, 6 times.
Yeah. Well, because when I saw the movie, when I watched the end, I didn't really think twice about the end in the terms of like, did he do it or didn't he? Some people really had that question, and they connected it to the mob mentality of like the Me Too movement in the sense of like, people that are, if you're not sure about somebody, like to enact justice on them is kind of immoral or unethical.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought watching. I was like, that's kind of fucking wrong.
See, because when I watched it, I honestly didn't, because I just assumed because of and this is really just, I guess, on my part, because the movie does not like really tell you who this man is outside of that first scene when he punches the window when she's trying to escape and she punches through her sister's car window,
Hmm.
and then you only hear about him. Like, he's not really a character, and so this is a character that is completely found out about through other characters' perspectives. So you don't know like anything about him in terms of like, should I believe him or should I not believe him? I just assumed, I was like, yeah, he clearly was in on this. He clearly was doing this, and his brother. They've already made inference that his brother's like a Weasley little lackey, even though he's in his own kind of hell, his own kind of suffering in it, but he does do it. And that, I don't know. I wouldn't say if I would use the word justified in killing him. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but she got her vigilante justice, and now she's the Invisible Woman, I guess is the implication.
I guess.
She takes the suit with her in her
Well,
purse.
well, she put the suit on and killed him,
Yeah, yeah.
which is also kind of fucking lame. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Listen, I don't know, man. When I maybe I'm a harsh critic, but the movie's got to hit right, and this is one of those movies that just didn't hit for me. Like, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, I would say it's definitely entertaining. It's a good entertaining movie. I mean, it's entertaining, and at
Sure.
least it's different. But I mean, I guess if you think about it a little bit deeper, when it comes to her being thrown in the crazy house, the loony bin, whatever you want to call it. But is that because she's a woman?
What?
So is that what that's supposed to be implying, that no one believes her, so she gets thrown into it like
No, I
all
mean, like,
crazy?
it's not like literal. It's just like there is a subtext there about women that,
That's what
and
I'm
whether or
saying. So
not
they
people
threw her in
believe.
the.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not going to be literally specific. Like, they throw them in nut houses. That's just the whole kind of general theme of the movie is disbelief. And and to be fair, it's not every day that somebody's saying that they're being harassed by an invisible man. So it is an
Yeah, and we're
extreme. It's an
well.
extreme example, but oftentimes that's the to me that seemed like the obvious allegory of what they were getting at.
Yeah,
And I think generally it worked pretty well because I think a lot of people, you could watch this movie and not pick up on that shit. Like, you really could. I don't think it really preachy. It's not very preachy. It's not proselytizing to you. It is a very
yeah. It does that
classic.
well.
Yeah,
It does that well.
it's a very classic like person in distress, being haunted or harassed by an entity or a person or whatever. Kind of has like almost like a slasher aspect to it. You've seen this kind of thing before, so it doesn't necessarily it's not doing anything unique in that way, but it is using those tropes to be a little subversive. So I don't know. So I thought it was better than I expected it to be. I was not. I was looking forward to it because I like the director, but I didn't. I don't know. I'm not a big what's her name, Elizabeth Moss fan, but I thought she did all right. I
Yeah,
thought
she
was
did
okay.
fine. She did fine. The acting was across the board, standard to above par in some scenes, but nothing that was
I actually really like the guy who plays
the twin or the brother, whatever.
well, the guy who played the brother was really good. The guy who played the lawyer,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah, he's
actually
pretty
really
good.
good, and so was quote unquote the Invisible Man. Even though he only gets one scene, he was in that Netflix show I really like, The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the junkie brother in that movie, in that show, that mini series, whatever you want to call it, limited series. But yeah, do you have any other thoughts on it, or
Go see it. I would say go check. It's fun.
Is it worth the $20?
Hell no. Fuck no. I would never spend that kind of money to do that, you know? I went to see it in the movie theater, so I'm good. So I only had to pay $8 for a matinee.
Yeah.
But I would not pay $20. I don't think they should be charging 20. I know that's pretty reasonable, but for a ticket sale, it should be 10 to 15 because they only get a percentage of the ticket sales. So how much are these streaming companies getting of that $20 is what I want to know.
Yeah, well, they traditionally, when you go to the movie theater, the movie studio gets the like 80% of that. That's why your concessions are so expensive.
But that's what I'm saying. So how? Because if I spend $12 to $15 to go see a movie on average, why are they charging me 20 for an online premium? Is that because
well, I mean, if you
there's less amount of tickets that could be bought for one household, so they're charging more?
Well, yeah.
But if I live alone, that's bullshit.
Well, if you live alone, that's your sad life. That's your Ben Affleck The Way Back experience.
Yeah.
You know, ASMR. That's what that movie was.
I guess so.
No, it's like I don't know. Like I actually thought about this movie because when I saw it in the theater, I bought a movie ticket and I had a gift certificate from Christmas left over, so I used the gift certificate. So I was like, oh, I don't have to pay for my ticket. I'm gonna get a nice big water and some popcorn.
$25.
It was like $16.
Yeah.
So if I had bought the ticket, that would have been $26. Because I would have, and that would be to go to a matinee. Would have been $10, $11. So
yeah.
I think the 21. I think it seems like optically, I agree with you. I think if it was $14.99, they'd do a lot better.
Yeah,
they would.
I would be like, I could spend that. I mean, it's reasonable. It's closer to a ticket, and if they should be making just as much. Well, maybe not just as much, but.
Well, apparently these are doing pretty well. Like Birds of Prey, that movie bombed in the theater, but apparently on VOD, because they released it early on VOD, apparently it did pretty well that like first weekend. Not that they really record numbers that way. The claim was that it did very well. Like I watched, that fucking Vin Diesel movie. What the hell? I can't remember.
Kill Shot or whatever the fuck.
Bloodshot. Bloodshot. Yeah, that's like somebody. The cast and crew of that movie got in a time machine and traveled to 2004, and they're like, made a movie that you would have felt like something that would have come out in like Vin Diesel's heyday, like the XXX era.
So it's bad.
Oh, it's not very good. Yeah, it's awful. It actually has a cool premise. It's just like the Vin Dieselness is just awful. That dude is awful. And he dresses the same in no matter what movie he's in.
Tank top, cargo pants.
Yeah,
chilling.
Yeah. XXX.
He's highly mobile. He's highly mobile. It's highly functional, and it makes sense. But I agree.
I think that one actually might be $14.99. It's like the discount one.
I don't know.
They released the first 10 minutes of the movie early, or not early, but just for everyone to try to advertise it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that's a blast from the past. That felt like watching something like when I was in high school. I would have seen that in the theater. That was I can't recommend Bloodshot. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. I don't even know. What was the first movie we talked about? What was it? The Way Back.
The Way Back. The Richard Jewell of this episode.
You could completely forget about it, in my opinion. I would not buy that on VOD. I would not recommend to buy that on VOD. I would say Invisible Man, yes.
Yeah, I couldn't give a hard recommend for VOD prices for The Way Back. When it's on Netflix or whatever, I would say definitely give it a go. That's how I would have felt about Warrior. I think I watched Warrior. I eventually saw it. I think when it went on Netflix. Actually, it's probably when I saw it. The Invisible Man. If you got a group of people, or you and your girlfriend, or you and your boyfriend, or whatever, want to check out like a scary movie, I think it's worth $20.
Might be too late by this point if you've listened to this thing. So
yeah, it's all spoiled for you. I'm sorry, guys. She did it. She's the killer. She's the killer.
She is. She's a good lady though, because she was raped, and that's okay to kill people if you've been raped.
I'd say so. That's a pretty long-standing cinema tradition, Dan.
Yeah, that's true.
It is,
but not after not like craziness like that. Like that's different,
Like what's the? Have you ever seen that? I Spit on Your Grave?
Yeah, I Spit on Your Grave. Yeah.
The original, like the one from the 670s.
made by a
That's a
bunch of feminists.
that's a rough fucking movie, man. That's a
Yeah,
rough ass movie.
that's
I
that's rape.
you
That's rape. That's
or
Me Too
Last
movement.
House on the Left. Have you ever seen that? Did you
Yeah,
ever watch with
Eliza Dushku. Are you
no,
seeing that
no,
one?
no, 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 no. No, I'm talking about a movie from the 70s.
Oh, then no.
They did a remake of it in the sometime in the
Yeah, Eliza
2000s.
Dushku. She was in that shit.
No, I think that's not that movie. I know which one you're talking about though. So like what the hell's it called? Last Turn?
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. Last time House on the Left is like these two girls go to the city to go to a concert and then they end up, they're like in their late teens and they're out partying and they want to be out in the city and be grown-ups and then they get involved with these ne'er-do-wells and one of them had just recently been released or escaped from prison or whatever, and they go on this plan to bring the girls back to their house, but they end up like raping them in the woods. It's like a really fucking sad, intense movie. Sorry to bring it down, everybody, but you want to talk about your rape revenge movies?
But
Sometimes
that's
those
where
bitches got it coming.
this came down to more psychological control in this movie. So I don't know. I don't know if there was any real physical abuse. They don't really state that.
Well, to suggest that like psychological abuse is not also completely devastating to a person is
I mean,
that's right. But I mean, your opinion, I guess.
Psychological. That's just how shows how soft our fucking society is. Like some guy was trying to be a controlling dick, and she left. That's the moral of the story. She fucking left.
Yeah, the whole point of the movie was that she could not.
I just don't understand how she
The
couldn't get
movie
away, but she did get away.
literally opens with an escape scene.
Yeah, but you tell me there was no other opportunities before that? She couldn't have got away.
You don't think
Bullshit.
people? All right, I'm not gonna have this conversation. All right, but anyways, so thanks for listening, everybody, and we will talk to you guys next time we watch something, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, you're recording, so you gotta cut it off.
You like to get nasty, boy? You like to get nasty in them pants, you fucking dirty homo? I see you, spaceman.